Welcome to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for joining us. We begin the show this week with the Department of Liquor Control, which was a recent topic at a County Council Public Safety Committee meeting. Susan Kennedy joins us with more. Susan?
Montgomery County's Department of Liquor Control is a unique one. It's one of a kind here in this country. Each year it brings in close to $20 million in revenue. Montgomery County's Department of Liquor Control handles all of the distribution of wine, beer, and alcohol that is sold here, and also supplies the county-run liquor stores. It's a policy that's been in place since the end of Prohibition in 1930. But a recent report commissioned by the department found this way of doing business is outdated, and Councilmember Hans Remer agrees.
We don't provide a sufficient level of services that our residents expect, that the businesses expect, our restaurants expect. So there's some real issues there that I think need to be addressed.
The report found one store located in Chevy Chase operating at a loss, but the rest of the 24 county stores are in the black. One idea suggested was to open a few regional superstores to address the problem of getting products that are hard to find. Liquor control employees say special orders are no problem, but take time to transport.
Once the order's placed, we use outside vendors as satellite warehouses. We bring this stuff in as it's ordered. As soon as they ship it to us, we ship it to the customer, usually 2 to 3 day turnaround.
One of the biggest issues facing the Department of Liquor Control is its aging fleet of vehicles. It's estimated replacing the trucks will cost more than $19 million over 12 years, which would make a big dent in the county's profit.
Many of them are nearing the end of their useful life. That is going to have to be addressed in the next few years, and that will probably reduce the amount of money that is available to be transferred to the county general fund.
I think we need to really identify what the problems are and whether they can be resolved in our existing model.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
County Executive Ike Leggett, along with State's Attorney John McCarthy, have announced the creation of a special prosecution unit to target crimes against seniors and vulnerable adults. Physical abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation of the elderly are some of the crimes this new unit is focused on.
But one of the things that we have to do is, before we actually get to the point of prosecuting people and investigating, we want to try to prevent it in the first place. Now, the prosecution of that helps in the prevention, because when people know that we take this seriously in Montgomery County, that we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law, then it may provide some hesitation for those who may abuse seniors in Montgomery County.
Just last year, authorities investigated 112 cases of elderly and vulnerable abuse and exploitation. Officials say family members are often involved in financial exploitation cases. To report suspected abuse, contact Adult Protective Services at 240-777-3000 or call 311. This week, county officials gathered at a local supermarket to launch an initiative to make Montgomery County a hunger-free zone. Lorna Virgili has our story.
County officials would like to declare Montgomery County as a hunger-free zone. Council members joined anti-hunger organizations to launch a campaign to collect food and disperse to the county's hungry.
Make every resident of Montgomery County aware of the harsh realities of hunger. God knows we have the resources, and we believe all that's needed is the motivation that will follow people coming to understand that hunger is real.
Nearly 70,000 county residents receive supplemental nutritional assistance benefits. Last year, during the Community Service Week, 21,000 pounds of food were collected and distributed through Mana Food Center.
Mana is very helpful to people in the community like myself. I am a working parent and I do work full-time, but it is sometimes challenging to make ends meet, and Mana supplements that area where I need extra food in the house, and it helps me kind of stretch from one day to the next to get by from month to month.
It is estimated that roughly 9,000 seniors live below the poverty line and 36,000 children live in food insecure households.
You know, we have a conversation and we talk about our achievement gap, and one of the things that I wanted to make sure that was a highlight of this hunger-free zone is that kids that go to school hungry, who might be receiving their only meal as a result of our free and reduced meals program is a tremendous challenge for us here in Montgomery County. It's an unfortunate reality.
Part of the hunger-free zone effort will include collecting food at several giant supermarkets through the end of November while raising public awareness about hunger in the county. For more information, visit montgomeryserves.org/hunger. In Rockville, for County Report This Week, I'm Lorna Virgili.
Montgomery County Council member Nancy Navarro recently hosted the Ready for Tomorrow Summit, a conversation about ways to reduce the academic achievement gap and to prepare the workforce for tomorrow. MyMC Media's Alini Barros reports.
That's right, Sonia. It was a morning to brainstorm ideas about the county's future in education and workforce. County and school officials and members of the community talked about how to connect the dots in order to have a more prosperous county. In the beat of Drumming Up from Poverty, called members of the audience to listen to experts talk about the need to have organizations from all over the county working together.
We have to broaden our understanding and get over our academic elitism as it comes to this and really start to think about some things differently. We're perpetuating a narrative of at least 2, maybe 3 narratives in this county, and we have to figure out how we can disrupt that.
Montgomery County Council member Nancy Navarro hosted the event and hopes to continue the conversation outside the budget and legislation cycles.
And I feel like that really constrains our ability to truly explore the impact and the intersection between the academic achievement gap, workforce development, economic opportunities in this county.
These experts also talked about school demographics and the number of ESOL students in county schools, which they say has doubled in the past 10 years. The school system has now children representing 127 languages.
You know, I think it's sort of the challenge right now is as the county's demographics change, you know, we have to both ensure that our minority and immigrant and low-income communities are able to get the resources they need to succeed and move up into the middle class in Montgomery County, but also to ensure that our middle class has what they need to stick around too.
I'm glad that our leaders are addressing the fact that there are some disparities among our residents and that we have issues that we need to be dealing with.
Residents then met in groups to talk about eliminating the academic achievement gap and developing programs for a successful workforce. For County Report This Week, I'm Alini Barros.
Early voting is underway from now through October 30th. What that means is that voters can head to any one of 9 early voting centers around the county to cast their ballot and to avoid any rush on Election Day. That's November 4th. It's all about convenience. So where are the most popular early voting centers located?
Germantown has been very popular. Silver Spring has been very popular. Those have been our real popular ones. Certainly Mid-County and Wheaton. Wheaton is new for 2014, so that gives people that are in Silver Spring an alternate location to the Silver Spring Early Voting Center. So we're trying to branch out to more areas so that we can make sure that everybody has a convenient location.
And this year, voters can also use their smartphones to get real-time information about how busy the polls are.
With your smartphone, you can use that QR code and it'll take you straight to our website. And you can use our online features like checking your registration, checking your polling place, checking the wait time on during early voting. So it gives you lots of options right there on your smartphone.
In addition to early voting, the County Board of Elections has mailed out 11,000 absentee ballots. Early voting results are expected to be announced at 8 p.m. on election night. Coming up on County Report This Week, we'll tell you what these students are talking about with their elected leaders. Stay with us. County Report This Week is coming right back.
Hey, mister, down here. You illegally passed the stop school bus. I'm placing you in timeout, and this timeout means big fines, plus you really could have hurt somebody. That's why school buses are being equipped with video cameras to help kids like me stay safe, so respect the bus.
Tune in for Live Vote 2014 election night coverage on the Montgomery Channel, Channel 21. or watch the coverage streamed live at mymcmedia.org. Cast your ballot and then tune in for the results as your votes are counted. Follow us on Twitter at mymcmedia and send your pictures and comments to #MocoVote. Vote 2014 live coverage Tuesday, November 4th, starting at 9 p.m.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Close to 100 students were in hand to speak their minds at a recent Montgomery County Council Youth Town Hall meeting. The council has hosted this event for 5 years, and the goal is to get young people interested in government and civic participation. This group asked council members questions on a variety of topics, including school funding, suicide prevention, and there was a question on bullying that received a heartfelt response from Councilmember Cherie Branson.
And we were concerned about bullying and inappropriate behavior in the hallways, and it is not being well managed.
At some point, you have to know that it's not about you. It's about the person who's just mean. They were mean before they met you, and they're going to be mean after they forget your name. So what you have to figure out, and what I would like to help you figure out, is how to insulate yourself so that it doesn't harm you in the long run. When I was a kid, I was bullied too. I was always the smallest kid in class. So I always, the bullies always thought I was a good target. So I know what it feels like. But I'm here now. So the bullies didn't win, and they won't win with you either. I guarantee it.
Students at Ridgeview Middle School got a chance to voice their ideas and concerns with Superintendent Joshua Starr and the student member of the Board of Education at the first of 4 student town halls this school year. MCPS TV has our story.
Welcome to Ridgeview Middle School for the Student Town Hall with Superintendent Joshua Starr.
Dahlia Ha, the student member of the Board of Education, hosted the first of 4 student town hall meetings for this school year with the superintendent.
This is one of my absolute favorite things to do.
Held at Ridgeview Middle School, Dr. Starr fielded questions from students about technology, weather-related closings, school start times, as well as standardized testing.
Why did you change the MSA test to the PARCC test?
Why can't we be able to take more languages?
When you change the curriculum, how do you teach it to all the other teachers?
And I was just at another middle school where the principal, I was actually talking to a couple of algebra teachers about this. The most important thing we do is try to carve out time for teachers to collaborate.
Students from the school who are not part of the studio audience tweeted in questions that Dahlia read.
The students ask such deep questions about the curriculum and a lot of the more intense issues about Curriculum 2.0 and PARCC and MSAs and what's coming down the road.
You know, I love just hearing from our kids. I want to hear their questions, and I want to be able to answer their questions, and I want them to try to understand the complexity of what we do, and they just have such great energy.
I like the event because the students got to ask the questions, and that's really cool because the adults usually get to do all that stuff.
It was very cool the superintendent chose this school to come to.
I love how Dr. Starr is listening to what we say, and he's trying to help make the Montgomery County schools a better place for us.
The next student town hall will be held at Sherwood High School on December 2nd. The redevelopment of the Tacoma Junction lot at the intersection of Carroll and Ethan Allen Avenues was recently the focus of a community meeting where 4 request for proposal finalists were given the opportunity to present their plans.
About a year ago, Council gave us a green light to move ahead and solicit proposals to see what might be possible to happen in this location. So tonight's sort of the culmination of this step so far. We're still early in the stages of what might actually take place there, but it's still something that's the coming to fruition of accepting these proposals and looking at the possibilities.
Parking and traffic are going to be top concerns, and I think also people have expressed a great desire to make sure the co-op remains a vibrant part of our community, but we also have a great deal of opportunity moving forward, and I think the projects tonight showed us about what could be possible in the future here.
We're not against any development or improvement to the area, but they're not mentioning about what they're going to do as far as what the merchants need in there, and that's the parking.
that property right now isn't paying taxes when it's publicly owned. So there is that to say about selling it off, but I think long term would be wiser to hold on to it.
It's a difficult question, it's a difficult problem, and we can be difficult a community because we want it solved well.
Many residents came out. We had the spillover room was filled, and that's exactly what we wanted to kick off, to have the developers come, present their concepts, to have residents get a first glance, and now we'll begin the process of getting residents' feedback, going back to the developers, and seeing what they come back with.
You can find more information about these proposals on the City of Tacoma Parks website. Coming up on County Report this week, we'll travel to Wheaton for the World of Montgomery Festival. We'll tell you why these engines were revved up in Rockville. Stay with us. County Report this week is coming right back.
Save time on Election Day. Vote between October 23rd and 30th at one of 9 early voting centers in Montgomery County. Voting hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Find the early voting center most convenient to you by visiting our website, 777vote.org. During the early voting period, wait time information is also available on our website. You choose the location, you choose the date. Remember, your time, your voice, your vote.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Sonia Burke. Thousands of people turned out for the World of Montgomery Festival in Wheaton. One of the partners of this event that highlights culture and diversity is Montgomery College. MCTV's Stan Jones has our story.
Last weekend, Westfield Wheaton hosted the annual World of Montgomery Festival, a celebration of the richness of Montgomery County's diverse ethnic communities. Montgomery College, one of the festival's partners, was on hand to help with the celebration.
Our purpose for being here today is to connect with the residents of Montgomery County, the Wheaton area, Down County, let them know about what's happening at Montgomery College, from college fairs to our workforce development programs to our programs for high school kids.
Bruce Adams, the festival's director, is enthusiastic about having partners like Montgomery College involved in this event.
So Montgomery College has been a great partner. They've been a sponsor. They've helped us fund this event. They shown up. They had people at the tent. They were painting the flags of the countries, of our sister city countries, on kids' faces. They've had performers come as part of the entertainment, and they've been great partners at this event.
Well, Montgomery College is really a college that has a large number of international students, and it has been such an integral part of our community. And so to participate as part of this festival, I think is consistent with its mission to provide opportunity from students and to enlighten students literally from all over the world. I am just so pleased with the college's leadership and its involvement in this festival and many other things that they do throughout the community.
The education from Montgomery College helped me further my education. I completed my bachelor's degree also, and I still have some relationship with some of the professors, and I go back to them for questions and, mentor and everything. So it's a great help and support.
For County Report this week, I'm Stan Jones.
There's a lot of excitement in Montgomery County for the grand opening of the Kid Museum, which is opening its doors to the public at the Davis Library in Bethesda on Sunday, October 26th. Visitors can create their own flying toys, build robots that draw and scribble, make sound and music with simple electronic circuits, and there's more. As part of its inaugural exhibit, the Kid Museum will be displaying kites from all over the world. For directions and hours of operation, visit the Kid Museum's website. Just call it a blast from the past. Hundreds of antique and classic cars were recently on display at the grounds of the Glenview Mansion. Rockville 11 has the story.
Well, Well, we're at the 53rd Annual Rockville Antique and Classic Car Show, and we have 537 cars on the field representing all different car groups, car clubs, Ferrari, Rolls-Royce, Packards, we have some Model Ts, Jaguars, all different types of cars.
The Rockville Antique and Classic Car Show is one of the city's most popular events, drawing in a crowd from across the East Coast.
We have a huge crowd here today. Actually, I've never seen such a big crowd here at the Rockville Civic Center, so we're thrilled. It's such a beautiful fall day, so I know that, so many people came out for the show, and we're so happy about that.
Hundreds attended the show, including Rockville Mayor Bridget Donnell Newton and Councilmember Julie Polakovich-Carr.
Oh, you know what? I love old cars. It's something that I've gained an affection for, and it's really fun to come out here and see. Rockville does a wonderful job with this program. We've done it since 1962, and it's one of the best shows on the East Coast. Cars come from everywhere. People bring them to show us, to talk to other car aficionados. It's just fun.
Oh, there's so many unique cars here. I think the display of orphan cars has been really interesting. Some brands I've never heard of before, including a number of cars that were made in America in the earlier part of the last century. Just really interesting to learn the history of the car manufacturing industry in the U.S.
2 awards were given at the car show, a People's Choice Award voted on at the event, and the Mayor and Council Award.
This car was made in 1923. It is probably the last 150 made. And this one is possible, maybe the last one known to exist. We've been coming to this car show probably for 40 years. It's always been an excellent show, always.
For County Report this week, I'm Morgan Lash.
From the candy to the costumes, Halloween is a fun time of year, but it's also important to take some precautions. First, make sure the porch light is on and clear debris from your yard that children might trip on. And if you're a parent or guardian with children participating in Halloween, make sure an adult or responsible older sibling goes with them. If you have older children trick-or-treating, make sure they go in a group, carry a cell phone, discuss their route, and when they'll be home. Everyone should carry a flashlight and go to neighborhoods that you're familiar with. And finally, motorists should use extra caution on Halloween night. There'll be a lot of excited children in the neighborhood, and you need to slow down and take your time getting around. Stay safe and have a happy Halloween. When we come back, the spotlight is on excellence in the arts and humanities. Stay with us. County Report this week is coming right back.
Montgomery College has been awarded a $225,000 grant from the Armed Forces Communications and Electronics Association. The grant supports scholarships for students studying computer science, gaming and simulation, cybersecurity, and engineering. Check out the 6 new MC student bloggers. These students regularly blog about life at MC as they share their experiences and opinions about all facets of campus life in a personal and unique way. All their posts appear on the college website. The Frank Islam Athenaeum Symposia Speaker Series continues on MC's Germantown campus through November with an impressive and varied schedule of speakers. All lectures are free and open to the public.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Sonia Burke. At the County Executives Awards for Excellence in the Arts and Humanities, you could see and hear a celebration of arts and culture in Montgomery County. My MC Media's Krista Brick has our story.
Community leaders making a difference took center stage at the County Executives Awards for Excellence in the Arts and Humanities. It's the highest honor given by the county to an artist or individual for their contribution to the culture of the community. And 8 of them were celebrated in front of a packed auditorium.
These individuals have made remarkable contributions to advance the arts and humanities in Montgomery County. They truly deserve our praise and admiration.
Earning the Lifetime Achievement Award was Richard Jaggi, founder of Gandhi Brigade, an organization that teaches youth to use video and digital media as tools to advance social and political justice. Jaggi passed away in May, and his award was accepted by his wife, Yoshiko Jaggi.
I am also grateful to the young people who always get the energy and a passion for him to go forward.
Recognized with the Lifetime Impact Award was Bonnie Fogel, founder of Imagination Stage.
So we're going to keep on imagining and imagining what we can do next.
Paula Ross accepted her award as an emerging leader for her work with the Metropolitan Ballet Theater and Academy.
This award is amazing. I feel honored and privileged, and I feel burdened to keep doing what MBT is doing in the community.
Leggett, along with First Lady Catherine Leggett, presented the awards to the other recipients, including Kenny O'Brien of Music and Arts for the Patron Award, Ricardo Loisa of After School Dance Fund, Inc., who was a recipient of the Community Award, Adrian Clancy of Clancy Works Dance Company for the Education Award, Karine Karoga, Visual Artist and Art Educator for the Outstanding Artist or Scholar Award, and Jeff Struing with Lumina Studio Theater for the Volunteer Award. For County Report this week, I'm Krista Brick.
Let's meet our pet of the week. Here's Kathy Stanhope from the Humane Society. Kathy?
Hi, I'm here with Milo. He is a 9-month-old neutered male, and he's a lucky dog because he was in a DC shelter where he was about to be, let's say, moved out. So we brought him here to Montgomery County to find a home, and he is almost the perfect guy. He is well behaved. He's about 40 pounds. He's a nice size, very, very friendly. And I don't know if you can see, he's got the one ear up and the one ear down. He wants to go home. So please give us a call at 240-252-2555 or visit Milo and all the other animals here at the shelter at mchumane.org.
It's time for another Heritage Montgomery Civil War moment. Our last installment told of the destruction of the federal camps and blockhouses along the Potomac by John Singleton Mosby and his raiders in October of 1864. Mosby's men returned to Montgomery County, engaging with some Quakers in Sandy Spring. Here's Barbara Grunbaum with more.
3 months after Mosby burnt the Union camps and blockhouses along the Potomac, he and some of his men passed through the Quaker village of Sandy Spring. On October 6, 1864, they stopped at the general store located on today's Route 108. Lieutenant Walter Bowie raided the store thinking Quakers would do little to stop him. Store clerk Alban Gilpin Thomas later wrote these words to his brother.
At exactly 12 that night, there was someone on the porch that wanted to go into the store. Upon opening the door, a large man stared at me in the face, and he said if I did not open the door, he would break it down. I then told him to await there until I saw the proprietor of the store. After slipping upstairs and hiding the store money, I awoke Arthur Stabler, Uncle Al, and Joe Davis. We formed behind the store and marched around on them, not knowing their number, and asked what they wanted, but before we knew it, 11 Rebs had surrounded us, and to surrender was the only alternative to being shot. They got a little of everything, and a good deal of some things. Just before they left, Arthur Stabler went up to William H. Farquhar's gate, and as they passed, he fired twice. One fellow yelled out, and they hastened their speed.
Temporarily setting aside their Quaker beliefs of pacifism, an armed posse of 17 local men pursued Bowie to Durwood. A battle ensued, and Bowie was shot and killed in what became known as the Battle of Ricketts Run, named for a nearby creek. Today, that creek runs alongside the Shady Grove Metro Station. A Quaker council meeting in the Sandy Spring Friends Meeting House later disciplined the men who took part in that battle. Later that same month, the citizens of Maryland narrowly approved an amendment to the state's constitution, ending slavery in this state. The amendment took effect on November 1, 1864. By eliminating slavery when it did, Maryland became the first state south of the Mason-Dixon line to free the slaves within its borders by popular vote. For County Report This Week, I'm Barbara Grunbaum.
Save the date. On Saturday, November 1st, the Montgomery County Historical Society will commemorate the 150th anniversary of the Maryland Emancipation at Belle Dawson Park. There'll be reenactors, musical performances, exhibits, as well as talks by county residents who are descendants of former slaves. With that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for joining us.